Yes. We at the Go Us podcast today. I got a very special guest in the building, Troy Green from Phenom America. There's a place where we met. I met him at the Phenom America. He had that light on him. He had that dog in him. He was playing hard. He was shining. He was all about the work and all about respect. And then we talked. We created a situation for him, and he took advantage of it. Without further ado, I would love to introduce y'all to my guy, Troy Green. Talk to him. Tell him a little bit about yourself, my guy.
How y'all doing? First and foremost, I want to thank God for giving me the opportunity to come on here and give my testimony. I'm from Duval County, Jacksonville, Florida, to be exact. I'm playing junior college out here in California at Hancock College. Um, just you know, uh, I'm just striving to grow and learn as a man, as an athlete, and continue to fulfill my purpose within this realm that we're in right now.
All right. When you say purpose, do you feel any pressure? When you say you're here to serve your purpose, when you think about your purpose, what comes to mind?
Um, I don't feel any pressure. Maybe in the past, because I was naive to the different aspects that come along with finding your purpose. So maybe then, but now I don't really feel any pressure. And when I say purpose, I kind of feel I say purpose, but it's really just the path that God has chosen me to go down, the path that God has chosen me to, you know, use as a way of getting His word out and getting the understanding of Him, to other people. So that's really all. That's the only way I see it.
Well, I think that's a beautiful answer when you really think about where you came from. I think most people don't know your stories. You don't have to get too deep into details, but we could start from the moment we met at Phenom America, and you could give them a little bit of background on you taking a chance on yourself, right? I have a shirt on right now that says "Go Me," right?
Right.
Go Me means God over money and ego, and believing in yourself outside of anything. Because sometimes in life, you're not going to have fans. You're not going to have people who got your back. You're not going to have people saying you can do it. So there's a go me moment when you believe in yourself and say, I know I can get it done against all the odds. I know I can make it happen against all the odds. And I think you're definitely a kid that proved that go me magic really works. So please give them a background on you taking a chance on yourself, going to the Phenom camp. And we're here today because of that belief in yourself.
Of course, I can go into a little detail about just the build up to me getting to Phenom. I was I was lacking focus in terms of finding something positive to do within my community and just for myself to grow. So I was doing things that I don't think were beneficial to me or anybody else. I actually think they were detrimental to my people, like as a group. I think I was a part of the system that was put in place to for my specific type of people to fail, and I was contributing to it. And it led to me, seeing the back end of what a lot of people say comes with, playing in the streets or playing in, you know,
Yeah, making
anything like
some bad decisions.
yeah, yeah,
Making some bad decisions. I mean, we all know we all been young men before. And I'm not trying to hurry up through your story, but I want you to understand I appreciate that you recognize
yeah,
self-awareness is very important, and you took the opportunity to realize you can do more with yourself. But I like to get to the part where you took your money
yeah.
and decided to take a chance on yourself coming to the Phenom camp. And then we'll talk about different things another day to get to that point. But I want to talk to how you walked to the camp and all of the things and how you made zero excuses to create that Go Me magic for yourself.
For sure, yeah. So I was doing construction, and I just kind of scraped up all my money. It was a coach that I had met out in my city. He had known me since I was little. Like we had never really like worked together. Like he never really coached me, but he knew me. He knew of me. He knew I had just went through something, and he had kind of reached out to me and let me know about Phenom Camp. And once I found out about it, I put in my head. I talked to God. I I talked to God, I prayed on it, but then I put in my head like, if it's possible, why not me? You know, so I started doing everything I could. You know, from the day I decided that I believe I could do it, I started doing everything I could to, you know, make it come into fruition. You know, bring it to life. So each and every day I was working out. You know, getting ready for the camp. You know, preparing for the camp. Once I was able to get the money together for the ticket, you know, that was basically end all be all. I told myself, like, once I get out there, I'm gonna get a scholarship. Like, I don't care how, who, what, when, where, why. Like, when I get out there, I'm gonna get a scholarship. So, you know, just
Yeah,
stay
is
focused.
that
Yeah, I'm
you know
listening.
what happens? I'm sorry. What happens in life at some point, that's what the Go Me Magic really is. You saying to yourself, because it doesn't matter how much people believe in you, nothing starts until you start believing in yourself.
Yeah,
And that's when the magic of what's possible really happens.
true.
That's when the magic of what's possible can really happen. So
Yeah,
now, you was one of the guys that stood out in the camp for many reasons, not just because of your talent, but some of the things that you was doing to get to the camp. This
yeah.
young man actually booked himself a hotel room that was about, I would say, what, 4 miles or 3 to 4 miles away from the facility. Am I right?
Yeah, it was a couple of miles. You know, nothing too crazy. People try to make it. I feel like nowadays it seems like it's far, but it really didn't feel that far. You know, like I feel like if you have something, if you got a goal that you're trying to accomplish, you know, a couple miles really ain't nothing.
Yeah, but this young man was actually walking in California about 3 miles just to get to the camp. And I think the camp was about 3 days. So he did this for 3 days. And then we're like, yo, where you going? Well, I saw him walking out the gym. He's like, yo, I'm about to walk back to my hotel room. So I know I want to offer him a ride. And I'm like, what do you mean? You walking back? How far is your hotel room? And then he told me the street. And I was like, man, you know how far that is? And he was like, nah, coach, this is how I get my mind together. I think about all these things. I run back. You had to give me some understanding about how you process that whole thing in your head. Explain that
Yeah.
again if you can.
Walking and things like that, jogging. You know, I believe they help people find mental clarity, or at least it helps me. It helps me find mental clarity. So then, you know, even without the camp, you know, I used to go on walks and stuff like that just to clear my mind. You know, sometimes, you know, the world around us gets heavy. You know, things get rough, things get hard, and sometimes you just need that escape. And for me, you know, just getting outside, getting outside in nature, being able to embrace my surroundings, embrace the moments that I'm living in, you know, they help me clear my mind and get ready for that next thing. Because, you know, you can't really dwell on stuff too long, good or bad. So walking just kind of walking kind of helped me. So I had also known that, like, a lot of people like look at it as kind of weird. Like, I didn't know that many people seen it as weird, but like a lot of people like seen it as weird that I was so okay with walking, or I was so okay with like going the harder route. But I think it's just, honestly, I think that was just naturally in me to not want to, you know, take any shortcuts or not want to ask for any handouts or any help like that, because I just felt like if it is so that I can make this happen, and if it is to be me, I don't think that in my story I want to be able to say like, well, I was taking shortcuts and I was skipping corners, or I was doing this, doing that. It was more just like, no, I can get it done. And sometimes you just need that mental clarity and that understanding that I believe that I can get it done, so I can get it done, you know?
Yeah, I thought it was impressive. I kind of understood it real clearly because I've been in situations like that too, when you just want to be alone so you can understand how to process everything that you're going through.
Yeah.
And I thought that was powerful. I also I would I just I couldn't believe how much talent you had and you didn't have a scholarship. Because the first thing I said to you, man, you don't have a school, and you was like, no. And I'm like, man, this kid with this much talent, how come you don't have a school? And then you was telling me you had a little bit of trouble in your background, so on and so forth. And then, as you know, right there on the spot, I had called the school for him because we was in California. So I wanted to, you know, my goal whenever I come to Phenom America, I put a little pressure on myself to try to get everybody a scholarship if I can. If the talent is there, call a coach, because most of these situations is one phone call away. So I called the coach that I actually met from someone else, and he had a school because he's been getting in contact with me for players, and and it was right there out in California. So I tried to get the coach to come over so he could see Troy play, but he couldn't do it at that moment because of XYZ. But We got in contact with him. He gave Troy an opportunity because Troy's supposed to play prep school first, but he saw how much talent that Troy had. Then he wound up putting him in this independent college, which really what we didn't want, because I thought he needed one more year prep school just to clear his mind, get back into basketball and things like that. But like I said, he was a talented basketball player, so the coach wanted him to play with the school that he just got hired at. And you could give a little bit of background about that. I don't think it turned out as, the way we wished, but
Yeah,
once again, it still created an opportunity there, which created another opportunity, and that's the opportunity you're in now. So give a little background about the school. You ain't got to
of
get too
course.
deep into it, but please explain that situation.
Of course. So I ended up going to. I ended up getting a scholarship to go to Stanton University. So it was a USCAA, United States Christian Association, like a small conference of like Christian schools, put together in various areas throughout Southern California, Arizona, New Mexico, that area. We ended up we ended up playing some D1s. We played some D1s, some D2s, some NAIA. So I got to experience like a lot of the different facets of the game, like the different levels within the game. So it it wasn't all the way ideal, but I think God works in mysterious ways, and I think everything happens for a reason. So I got to learn a lot from it. So I got to learn a lot about the program that I was in, and also about the business that I was trying to partake in, which is basketball, because basketball is a business at the end of the day. So I think I got to fast forward into my experience within the business of basketball, because I had to learn how to understand everything might not always go your way, or things might not always be exactly how they looked on paper, or how they were told to you. But if you really want something, if you're really striving to get something, you have to be able to adapt, regardless of whatever the circumstance or situation is. So, you know, me playing at Stanton, I think was highly beneficial for me, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't have ended up there. You know what I mean? So it was good. I had a lot of good memories with my teammates.